Hey, Gina here at Tarot in Time. I'm here to give you a week ahead tarot and astrology reading for the week of February 28th. It's Pisces season, so I'm here to talk to you about things that are Pisces related. I think about Pisces season as a time of rest and recharging. Started to notice that annually I usually take time off this time of year to sleep more, to recharge. In the retail business, this is a great time to take a break. So if you are one of our patrons in Connecticut, you know that we're closed right now, we're renovating and getting a lot of rest and recharge. And with all the current events happening in the world, we need it more than ever. So as you know, I call myself an astrology student. I'm learning as I go. I'm sharing with you as I go. I hope that makes it a little bit more approachable for you. And it helps me to learn too. So I'm going to post some links down below to Sheilaa Hite's YouTube videos that talk about what's going on in the big picture. And I'm going to focus more on what's going on in our daily lives that we have a little bit more control over. So you'll see in some of her videos, she's talking about Pluto returning to the same spot that it was 258 years ago. And that is when the Declaration of Independence was signed. So you can read it or you can listen to her videos about that. I encourage you to read about that. Remembering that Pluto is a planet of transformation. It rules the sign Scorpio. It rules death and rebirth, the rising up from the ashes. Deep, deep emotions. It rules secrets. It rules all that deep, murky emotion. And when you're talking about Pluto, you're talking about intense energy. I've heard Pluto referred to as a nuclear bomb that needs to be tended to. So whenever Pluto's involved, it's intense. And right now we know, as we said, we can look at world events and see how intense it is. We know that Pluto is coming to the end of its time in the sign of Capricorn. Even though I believe it doesn't move into the sign of Aquarius until 2024, we're still getting close. It's still getting close to the sign of Aquarius. So we start to feel that energy of Aquarius affecting Pluto. It doesn't really just happen overnight. It's a gradual approach. So Pluto changes signs about 12 to 14 years. So it spent a good chunk of time in the sign of Capricorn. All of you Capricorns out there are going to be greatly relieved to see Pluto move forward. And all of you Aquariuses need to keep in mind that when Pluto is involved, it's going to bring great change. So you need to envision that change for the better. And we need, as a whole, to envision the change for the world for the better. Aquarius is a freedom fighter. Aquarius rules revolutions. Aquarius speaks up. It's cutting edge. And we're going into that time period now. So how can we live our daily lives and feel good, right? Pisces energy, I know I have a lot of Pisces. I have Pisces midheaven, and I also have my moon in Pisces house. We want wellness for everyone. We can get really sad, really overwhelmed with emotion when we watch the news, when we see other people suffering. And so there's a certain line that needs to be drawn for Pisces and for most water signs where we care, but we have to make sure that we can continue to feel good in our own bodies and feel good in our own lives and be of service in the bigger picture. So we're going to talk about some self-care themes. I opened up this oracle deck that we had for sale here, and I hadn't looked at it yet, so I thought we'd try it today. It's called the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. Just some fun little hints on how to take care of ourselves during Pisces season. Now, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so we were kind of reflecting back on that whole last year. Again, Pisces needs to rest and retreat. It rules anything that takes you away from society. So I like to think of Pisces season as a great time to meditate. Great time for those bath meditations, anything watery, because Pisces is a water sign, and meditation in general. We have a lot of planets in Pisces. We have Neptune, the planet that rules Pisces, in its own sign. We have Jupiter, the planet of luck and blessings and expansion, in the sign of Pisces. And I think that Pisces used to be ruled by Jupiter before Neptune came into the picture. I believe that's correct. So it's kind of functioning in its own sign too. And then we have the sun in Pisces, and the sun is really close to Jupiter. So wherever Jupiter lands, it brings expansion, it brings luck, it brings blessings. And this is a beautiful week of the sun shining right close to beautiful Jupiter. So allow your visions, like keep envisioning the things that you want, keep sitting in that meditative state, imagining peace for the world, imagining peace for the Ukraine, imagining peace for yourself and your family. And all those that you come in contact with during the day, if you can just keep giving that peaceful energy out into the world, we can make a little bit of a difference when we come upon day. So we have a lot of Aquarian energy. We have the moon in Aquarius starting off the week. We've got Mercury in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius. So Mercury is how we communicate, how we speak up, and it's very close to the moon. So we have to be careful the beginning of the week. I wrote down Monday's kind of a moody day because the moon, which is kind of delicate, I think of it as very soft and delicate parts of our inner self. Coming close to this planet of communication, you're going to want to choose your words wisely, although it's a good time to be writing. Saturn is there, and Saturn makes the rules. It's the constriction. It's all the shouldn'ts, I guess, in a sense. So maybe taking a look at those rules that you have placed upon yourself and looking at really what your needs are, what your tender needs are emotionally, especially in communication, and especially with the thoughts that you're thinking, because Aquarius is an air sign. So, okay, then we still have 3 planets in Capricorn. Those planets are Pluto, number 1, Mars, and Venus. They're still together at 25 degrees Capricorn. They're only 2 degrees away from Pluto. So this is that Venus dance I was talking about when Venus comes back over Pluto for one last swipe for a while. And we're going to see all those things that have been coming up since the beginning of December, all those relationships with ourselves, what needs to transform. And then with Mars, how we take action, which is also written as a sign for the male, and Venus, how we love, how we nurture, it rules relationships, especially the one with ourselves. I think I said that a few times. Those 2 are together for like their yearly meetup, and then they're going to swoop past Pluto. So there's going to be big changes. So allow this to be the changes that you need. Envision that this is going to help transform your life for the better. Okay, so it's kind of interesting when I look at the chart. All the energy's still kind of all gathered together on one side of the chart. And again, it depends on what your rising sign is, where that falls. But we know that the energy is consolidated. So it's intense. It's intense in some areas, but it's not fully dispersed. And actually, all these things are together. And the one thing that stands out to me kind of across from this whole bundle is the South Node in Scorpio. And the South Node is thought of as a cup that holds everything that ever happened to you. And so there it is. It's a past life point. It's in the sign of Scorpio that's ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation. And so there may be feelings from the past that are coming up, old fears, a lot of old fears, fear of death, fear of dying, fear of change. And so that's kind of there, almost like the handle of the bucket carrying all the other planets. So you can kind of tap into the wisdom you've learned in all your lifetimes, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your body, to feelings. Again, we talk about gut, but it can be neck pain. It can be anything, talking to your body. Dread, I talk about dread a lot. That needs to be honored. It needs to be looked at, examined, and then decided if that's true intuition. Okay, so much. There's a new moon this week, which is very exciting. So it's a new moon in Pisces. So we are going to have like heavy Pisces energy midweek. It's a great time to rest if you can. It's a great time to get it. If you can get a nap in, if you can get an extra few minutes of sleep in the morning, if you can go to bed a little bit earlier at night, this is a great time for it. Any form of self-care right now is fabulous. So I see Monday a little bit moodier with the moon square Uranus and Mercury. Tuesday and Wednesday, Pisces energy. So I'd plan the beginning of your week to be a little bit more mellow. Celebrating the new moon, putting out your moon water. I would get your moon water out. This video comes out on Sunday. I'm going to put my moon water out on Sunday. Putting it in a window right now. It's a little too cold outside. And I'm going to write down a few wishes. And I'm going to put a few wishes for the world in there. And I'm going to put a few wishes in my own life. And I feel this, and I think this is because I'm a lot of Pisces, I'm a lot of water, a lot of Scorpio, Cancer rising. We can get really caught up in just all the worry and all the sadness, and we have to harness it back in to bring the change that we need to bring into our own lives. So by Thursday through Saturday, the moon will move into Aries, so it's really dynamic time. So if you can hold off at the beginning of the week of expecting too much from yourself, and then you'll have a lot of energy Thursday through Saturday with the Aries moon, fire moon, very dynamic, wants to get out and go and do and get things done. Now, Sunday, we have a lot of planetary changes. So what does that tell us? Well, if you're not feeling great right now, it's going to shift because things are going to shift. This is what I love about astrology. I love knowing the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So that if I'm feeling overwhelmed by emotion, or if I'm grumpy, I know that there's going to be a shift. And there's going to be a big shift on Sunday the 6th, because Mars, the planet of action, how we take action, how we get things done, is going to move into Aquarius. So it's leaving the sign of Capricorn. So we've had a lot of energy in Capricorn, which is an earth sign, not known for its flexibility, but it was a really great period to get things done. We were talking about how Capricorn was a great time to work, and then take a rest, and then work a lot again. Now we're moving into Aquarius. Mars in Aquarius is much more unpredictable, although Aquarius is the genius of the zodiac. So you might get genius ideas. You might all of a sudden get an opportunity. And so you want to pay attention for that. Aquarius is unpredictably predictable. So you have to know that, be prepared that things might not go direct, right? Aquarius is written as like this two curvy signs on top of each other. And I think of that as up and down, knowing that it's going to be that way and kind of planning ahead. Venus is also going to leave the sign of Capricorn on the same day, which is kind of cool. Venus and Mercury and Mars move the quickest. So we see those are our personal planets. And so if you're going to watch anything in astrology, you want to watch the moon. Obviously the sun is kind of what everyone knows astrology for, but the moon is so important to look at. And then these personal planets, because they have the most movement. So big changes in Venus going into Aquarius, coming out of Capricorn. And it's going to be a little bit more unpredictable, a little bit more adventurous. And the moon will move into Taurus early Sunday morning. It's Earth sign, Venus sign. So yeah, big change coming in. So write down your wishes, what you want. Could be like 4 or 5 things. Could be 6, because this is a 6-year in numerology, right? So maybe you have like 4 personal wishes and 2 for the planet, however you want to do it. Okay, so with the theme of the Pisces new moon, I have chosen out from the Moonology card some Pisces related moon cards. So for pile number 1, we have new moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. Now, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which rules the fog, right? So Pisces is known for being not always clear, dreamy, romantic, creative, but sometimes we can lose a little bit of clarity because we can't really see clearly. So knowing that before you know it, we're going to be in Aries season and things are going to be very clear, and we're going to feel a lot of energy to get going, get moving as those bulbs start popping out of the ground. So take this time to rest. Take this time to meditate and contemplate. Pile number 2 is nothing is yet set in stone. And maybe that brings a relief to some of you because Pisces is a mutable sign. So signs can either be cardinal. Cardinal are the ones that lead the seasons. So we have Aries leading us in the spring, and Cancer leading us into summer, and Libra leading us into fall. You get my point. Pisces is mutable. Pisces can kind of shift around with things. Which way do we have to go? Well, we'll try that. How about that? That's Pisces. It's also Sagittarius, and it's also Virgo. We're all mutable signs. Now, the third pile is a new start is coming. And this is for new moons in general. This is when I believe farmers plant their seeds in the new moon. New start is coming, so it's exciting to start thinking about that. So go ahead, pick your pile, let's get started. Okay, pile number 1, you have this beautiful meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces, the fish there swimming. And it's just, I love Pisces season. I think it's really wonderful, really beautiful, great time to take downtime, great time to dream and imagine. I'm going to put this self-care card last. I think I'm going to start off different today and do some dice to start off. So these are Astro dice, and really, if time is short, I can give a reading just using these. So we rolled the moon in Virgo in the 12th house. Okay, so what does that tell me? Well, the moon, it moves the fastest around the zodiac. And wherever it is, when clients come in for a reading, I look at where the moon is because that gives me an idea of what's on their mind, what they're going to want to talk about. Now, the moon is who we truly are, our deep emotions. And we have it here in Virgo. Now, Virgo is related to health and wellness, and we were talking about a theme of self-care here. So it's interesting that came up, and the 12th house is Pisces house. So that kind of gives me an indication of wanting to retreat, wanting to rest, wanting to take some time for yourself, starting to think about spring. And it's tough right now in New England because we're still cold, so we want to kind of eat heavy foods, but yet we know we're going into spring. So what can we start adding into our diet? I know for myself, I'm craving lemon. So maybe this is a good time to start, right? Lemon really helps clean up the liver. We're moving into, in Chinese medicine, we think of the liver as related to springtime. And so maybe this is a nice time to start lightening up and just doing something simple like that, like drinking lemon water. Okay, I'm gonna put those dice to the side. Now I'm working with 4 different decks here. I have the Modern Witch, the Light Seers, the Relative Tarot, and the Wizard's Tarot, along with the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. So I haven't looked at any of these yet. Let's see what you need to know this week ahead. Starting off with the beautiful 9 of Pentacles. It's all lined up for you. And, I kind of feel sometimes when, I think about war happening, and I think about how my life is starting to come together more, how my home is starting to come together, and things that I've worked for a long time are starting to show success. And sometimes I'll feel guilt over that when you see others suffering. And so that's what I felt when I was looking at this 9 of Pentacles. But if you have more, then you have more that you can share, right? So 9 of Pentacles, 9 of money, 9 of earth, 9 of value. Maybe you can make a nice donation to a charity that you feel safe giving to. In the heart position of this reading, we have the King of Wands. And he is one feisty guy. He likes to get out there and live. He's a fire king. He will not be held back. That's coming up in the heart of the matter. Let's see what we have supporting the heart of the matter. We have the Page of Wands. So this is kind of like a young version. Could almost be like, well, I doubt the king was a page, but it's the same suit, but it's like younger energy. And the page would kind of more work for the king. But in this case, it looks like we have a hiker thinking about an adventure, something new, something exciting, something unknown. Foundation of this reading, we have the Page of Wands. Oh, we got 2 Page of Wands here. It's 2 different versions. So the Knight of Wands is considered kind of the bad boy of the deck because he's not known for being very reliable, right? He just wants to go. He wants to have fun. He's that person that you go on a date with and have a really great adventure, but maybe don't see them again. That kind of energy, not known to be reliable. So, but this is the Page. This is like younger than the Knight. And so it's very adventurous. It also just doesn't know what to do with all of its energy. That's what I'm getting. Where in your heart, you have the King of Wands. He knows how to take care of what needs to be taken care of. He's a king. He knows how to reign, make decisions, and then go and live the life that he wants to. Behind the scenes, we have the 9 of Cups. It's all lined up. She's looking lovely. So you have the 9 of Pentacles, now you have the 9 of Cups. This is going behind the scene. A lot of cups, a lot of emotion, but she's looking very well put together. And we have the Emperor. More fire energy. The Emperor, sometimes called the Father. Kind of feels like the King of Wands, but like almost even a little bit higher up. He has to make decisions. He has to make decisions that affect others. He's feisty. Look at him. Aries, ruled by Mars. We know Mars is moving out of Capricorn. We know Mars is moving into Aquarius. We want to use that Mars energy properly because Mars wants to drive down the road 200 miles an hour. Mars has to kind of be, I don't know, I guess I could say contained for lack of a better way of saying it. Mars needs to understand the rules because it doesn't want to follow them. So there's a lot of pulsating energy of success, but also of like, we just got out of a pandemic. Let's go and do and see. And now we're finding out that we have war going on. So there's a restlessness for us, but we don't want to create more problems either. So because the Emperor is Mars is Aries, and Aries is the god of war. So we want to be careful not to be creating drama in our own lives, to be using this energy properly, I guess is what I'm getting. Your future position of the reading, you have the High Priestess, ruled by the moon. This is the modern witch. That's why she's got a laptop. This is a 2, so it's in relationship. She's the divine feminine. She's the power of it's the power of our intuition, really. And so here she is she almost is coming in and softening this. And it's almost like it's a 2 and she's on her computer. It's almost like she has a relationship with the whole world. And she's going to use her intuition to guide her forward. Let's see what else we got. The Sun. Such joy. This is the Light Seers Tarot. It's card number 19. So in the future position, you have 2 really dynamic women, really, here. And so there's something here, about not, I don't know, I'm just picking up like the shame thing about like feeling like maybe you feel wrong for having stuff. Maybe you feel wrong for having joy. And there's definitely like a pulsating fire energy here that wants to go and do and see and live, but then almost feels a little bit of guilt in doing so. And this is a good time to just sit with that, feel that, see it, and then allow it to be on its way. Meditate and contemplate. So, we think of meditation, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to think really happy thoughts. Maybe sometimes things are just going to come up that need to be looked at and let go. So let's see what your sacred self-care card is. flow like water. That's fun. Speaking of Pisces, flow like water. And it's number 24, which would be a 6. And we're in a 6 year. And she's just diving in deep. Deep emotion. Not afraid of it. I like that she's got some moon symbols on her leg. So it's kind of asking you just to jump in, just to go deep, to feel what's, and then really allowing joy to surface. Just not being afraid to go into those deep emotions. Pluto's there. It wants to help you. Wants to help you. Wants to help clear some things out. And I think a lot of it is just pent up energy and some of it's guilt. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more cards, make sure that that was everything. Is there anything else that you need to know this week ahead? The Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Here's the Queen. Got a lot of beautiful women here, a lot of well-dressed people here. Here's the Two of Pentacles, weighing it out. And so you got 2 2s, because the High Priestess is a 2, the Two of Pentacles in relationship. And so there's something to be said for enjoying where you are, the safety that your life gives you right now, the fact that you're not in a war, and then trying to find ways to give that can bring you a little bit of peace. And just sitting in some quiet meditation, sitting in feeling around in your emotions, not being afraid to do it. And it's amazing how much release work you can do just by sitting there in some quiet meditation. And like I said, you can always do the bathtub one, especially in a water sign. And what's better than a candlelit meditation in a bathtub, I think. Okay, so what else did I have to do here? I didn't bring my letters. We did the Astro Dice. And so I'm going to give you one more Sacred Care card. And then I'll send you on your way for a great week. Restful, beautiful week. So flow like water. And let's see what else, if there's anything else for you. Aromatherapy. That's lovely. Well, I certainly do love to put some essential oils into my bath. I know lavender is a classic one. Here we see oranges and mint and some flowers. Lately I've been using Lang Lang and a little sandalwood. You can use any essential oil that calls to you. We sell a wheel here that has like different emotions on it and what's connected to the essential oil. I really like that to help choose. But scents can really bring us places, right? We know there's a lot of South Node activity this week. Our past lives, if you don't believe in past lives, it can be earlier in life. But it's amazing how much a scent can bring us back to different places. And so see what scent you're attracted to this week and maybe add that to your bathtub. So have a great week. Pile number 2. Nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Okay, we're talking about those mutable signs. I'm gonna put this sacred self-care card to the side. Let's see how that plays out. I think I'm gonna start with rolling some Astro Dice. So pile number 1, we started with Astro Dice. I was talking about how sometimes I can just use Astro Dice to give some more reading. So we have Mercury in the sign of Cancer in the 5th house. What this is telling me is Mercury, the planet of communication, how we communicate. It rules roadways, it rules information being delivered. In the sign of Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon. It's very intuitive, very nurturing sign, very caring. It's like the mother of the zodiac. And the 5th house is the house of fun. So there's something nurturing about having fun. There's something nurturing. Maybe there's something about going out and hearing music, right? That would be Mercury in written words and songs. Maybe it's going out and seeing a play, something that brings you comfort and joy. Fifth house is all about joy, being seen. It's Leo's house, the house of the sun. So you kind of rolled the sun and the moon and the sign Mercury. So something about who you are, who you truly are, your soul, and what you really truly want. Okay, so let's see what you need to know this week ahead. Nothing is yet set in stone, so it's very mutable, which means that it can change, right? And then we have a lot of Aquarius energy that things kind of change around quickly for Aquarius. So you have to learn how to go with the flow this kind of week. Okay, so let's see what we're starting off with. I haven't looked at any of these cards yet. We're starting off with the Four of Wands from the Modern Witch. 4 is often a pause number, but it looks like they're holding flowers. They look like maybe they've just celebrated something. Almost feels like a honeymoon card. And that would definitely, it feels like Cancer in the sense of like warm, lovey, comfy feeling, but Leo, such joy. See what's going on here. The heart of the matter here, we have the Ten of Wands. Interesting version from Carrie Paris's relative or tarot. It's almost like she's playing it like an instrument. All this fire, feels very Pisces in the sense of like very dramatic, beautiful, artsy. And so there's something here with, I feel a lot of passion. I feel a lot of romance here. There's the Queen of Wands, and she's a lot of fun. Fire Queen, surrounded by candles. Beautiful. Your foundation is the Chariot. Full speed ahead. Love it. This is ruled by the moon. This is a Cancer card ruled by the moon. Your intuition pulling you forward. And so even though you're topped with a 4, which is like a pause, and there's a lot going on. There feels like a lot of joy though. And there's a lot of moving ahead. You're being guided forward. You have to trust the feelings guiding you forward. I feel like there's a lot of romance written on this. Nothing is yet set in stone. Behind the scenes, we have the sun. We rolled the 5. That's Leo's house. This is a Leo card. Great joy, great passion. The Page of Cups. He likes to have fun. Those 2 cards are behind the scenes. And then let's see, we're moving into the future position. You have the 5 of Cups here. And the 8 of Pentacles. She's producing something beautiful. Okay, so kind of feels like, I feel like I see a lot of playfulness. I see a lot of like, maybe you're dating, maybe you've met someone you really like, maybe you've been enjoying it. But remember, there's a lot of Neptune energy. So it's a little foggy, it's a little cloudy. It feels romantic, but we don't know for sure yet. And so nothing is yet set in stone. We know that Venus is going to swoop back over Pluto. Things are going to change again. But whatever it is, I see a very dynamic person here along the way, moving ahead emotionally and having some fun. And we need that. Not everybody even knows how to have fun anymore. And it seems like you do. There's a 5 of Cups here in the future position, almost making it seem like you're, like maybe there's a little bit of like sadness, like some things that didn't work out. There are still 2 cups standing there though. So it's almost like having to shift your attention. And then the 8 of Pentacles, she's making something beautiful, really hard at work, creating something of value. This is an 8 and the sun is, actually the sun is not number 8, that's strength. Okay, never mind that. I'm gonna pull a couple clarifying cards. What else do you need to know here? The 9 of Wands. I'm going to use a different deck. Going with the Light Seers. Okay, I've got the 9 of Wands. And the Wheel of Fortune. And the Ace of Cups. Okay, So I just kind of feeling a push and pull here. I'm feeling like there was some connection of some sort. It looks like it was love, or it was some good times with someone. They actually had some fun, and maybe you're questioning if it's love, but nothing is yet set in stone. Things are changing. Your feelings may be changing. It looks like you're making something beautiful out of it, even though there may have been a little bit of a burden in the relationship. But you felt more dynamic, you felt more like your true self, and maybe you were able to express yourself more clearly. So it's a win-win no matter if the relationship worked out or not. You're moving full speed ahead. The Chariot moves ahead through you trusting your intuition. There's this Sun moving forward. There's this Page of Cups having fun. Future position is like almost like missing the party, but there's still something there for you. And then the Eight of Pentacles has you, maybe it sparks some creativity. Now, I'm happy to see the Wheel of Fortune here because this is Jupiter, and Jupiter is very close to the Sun right now. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. So you're being brought into a great direction, something new coming in. The Wheel of Fortune is card number 10, which becomes a 1 in numerology, right? So there's something ending, something beginning, there's a turning. And here's an ace, another 1, Ace of Cups, Ace of Satisfaction. So the Nine of Wands is here too, saying, yeah, there's all those things that you're looking at and all this to oversee, but I see you moving in a beautiful, lighter direction. Maybe it didn't work the way you wanted it to, but you still are moving in the right direction. Now let's see what your self-care card is here. I've got a health checkup. So that's always a good thing to do. And make sure that everything is going good for you. I'm going to pull another one. I like that the healthcare worker has a crystal around her neck, which almost makes me feel like that's more of an alternative medicine kind of situation. And so alternative health checkup would be more than just like checking your heart rate, it's going to go a little bit more into the emotional realm, which is really great. Okay, so I'm going to give you one more card for the self-care oracle. And we've got Look to the Stars. Wow, that's so cool. This is a new deck to me, so I haven't gotten to see them all yet. Look to the stars, which is what you're doing. You are looking to the stars. You're here at a tarot and astrology reading. And you can kind of understand yourself more, and maybe it's a good time to like understand more about your Venus sign, what is a good match for you, what you need in the love department. And the health checkup feels like Virgo energy, and looking to the stars. Yeah, I feel like there's answers for what, like, I don't know, I'm getting like an emotional feel from this, that there's like the things, I don't feel like there's a health concern here. I feel like there's an emotional health checkup that's needed. And I'm almost feeling like astrology might help explain some things to you so you understand yourself better. So that's kind of interesting. So maybe it's a good time for you to start looking at that and getting a better feel, but I do think that you're moving in a great direction. So I am going to pull 2 more cards because I feel like there's something else here for you, and then I'll let you do your thing. So is there anything else that you need to know this week? I've got the Nine of Wands again, 10 of Cups, and the Star. Okay, so these were both the Nine of Wands. I know not that Nine of Wands has to do with the direction of west. I do know that. I like this Nine of Wands because all of his helpers have shown up. They look like his guides or his ancestors, so he doesn't have to feel alone in this. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which I just placed down on top of the 10, the Wheel of Fortune. So it's another 10, kind of like a 1. We have the Ace of Cups here. This is a lot of emotion. This is often called the happy family card. And there's so much emotion and so much beauty and so much love there. And then we have the Star. Look at her. Wow. And so she's an Aquarian card. She comes in after the Tower card. She knows that some emotions have to be disposed of, poured out, right? Aquarius came here to learn about the emotional realm, and that not all these emotions need to be held onto. She's beautiful. She's healthy. The star is a card of hope. And so there's this beauty here. And so I see you moving in a great direction. If there's any love loss, please remember there's still so many opportunities and options here for you. You're moving in a lovely direction. Health checkup is always a great thing to get. And look to the stars for a lot of your answers. Totally go to the doctor, do all that kind of stuff too. But if you're looking for more subtle answers about how you operate, I think therapy is a great health checkup, and I love astrology. So have a great week. Pile number 3. A new start is coming. New moon. All right, we're going to start off with Astro Dice today. That's been a thing. Let's keep it up for pile number 3. I was saying how sometimes I can just use Astro Dice to give a reading if time is short. So you've rolled Venus and Pisces in the 11th house. So Venus, ruling relationships, ruling love, ruling anything beautiful. Venus is written like a circle with a T, which looks like a hand mirror, right? So it really wants to take a look at ourselves and love ourselves more. Sign of Pisces. Pisces is that dreamy, foggy, creative, very romantic. I think of Venus and Pisces, very romantic. And then the 11th house is Aquarius's house, and it rules friends, it rules large groups of people, very cutting edge. This is almost implies that maybe there's some romance with someone who has been a friend. Maybe someone you've overlooked. Okay, I'm going to put this self-care card to the side. Haven't looked at any of these cards yet. Let's see what you need to know this week ahead. Okay, we're starting off with the 9 of Swords. I love this version. She's like, okay, that's it. Had it with this insomnia. Over worrying, overthinking, that's enough. She's picking up a sword and she's ready to move on. New start is coming. Enough of this nonsense. The heart of the matter. We have the Knight of Swords. There's that sword again. He's getting on with it. Enough. New start is coming. Change the way you're thinking, the things you're worrying about that you don't have control over. Other swords, 7 of Swords. A lot of swords here. Swords is air energy. It's to do with the mind and thought. Love how this crow is just screaming. 7, it's your spiritual path. There's message. It's like you're being guided. You're being guided forward. New start is coming, dropping some of this old ways of thinking, old ways of being. Knight of Wands for the foundation. I love this Knight of Wands. I love that it's a woman playing drums with her horse. Fire energy, joy. So much fun. And yeah, using that energy properly for joy and fun and passion. Behind the scenes, we have the 8 of Swords. Good old human card, thinking you're stuck. She's fine. You have the 7, 8, and 9 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. That's a lot of swords. Here's the 9 of Swords again. Not the most beautiful version of it. I often call the 9 of Swords the acupuncture card. So these thoughts are really, really keep interfering with her sleep, keeping her up. A lot of overthinking, over worrying. You know, what kind of things interfere with your sleep? New start is coming, new way of looking at it. Here's the Ace of Pentacles coming up in your future position. Happy it's not another 9 of Swords. And here's Strength. Wow, she's a powerhouse. So that's your only major arcana, Strength, ruled by the Sun. And she's not going to be messed with. And she's not going to take other people's garbage on. Because a lot of times what's keeping us up at night here is worrying about other people's stuff. You're ready to move on from that. The universe wants you to. Your guides are here screaming at you that it's time to let some things go. It's time to make some better boundaries. I'm going to pull your self-care card here. Let's see what you got. Ground yourself. I like to use grounding, like tree essential oils is a great way to ground. She's just meditating. Beautiful. It's a good time for it, Pisces season. Just sit, imagine yourself rooted, getting out of your head because you're really overstimulated. So let me just pull a few more here. What exactly is causing this overstimulation of the mind? Page of Wands. Oh, the dice just fell and it said Libra, which is relationships, which is a Venus sign. Page of Wands is kind of childlike energy. We've got Temperance. Well, one of the first things I was thinking was alcohol. I know for myself, it just has been it just keeps me up. I don't even want it anymore. It just interferes with my sleep. Temperance classically, I think, is related to that. But it's interesting how he's got looks like he has 2 balls of energy here. And then this 2 of Pentacles came up. Same kind of vibe. Temperance is Jupiter. It's Sagittarius. It's expansion. It's luck. It's blessings. He looks like a guardian angel. Almost wants you to throw your burdens onto him. And it's interesting that Libra, the dice fell with Libra on it, which is a 2, and here's 2. So it's kind of almost like you're just taking on other people's stuff. And so you got to make a decision. And this can be you watching the news and taking on these war stories too much. This can be you taking on other people in your family's stuff. But you are ready to move on from that. You need your rest so you can be of value to others in your life and to yourself. I'm going to pick one more self-care card to see what else you can do here that can help you out. Here's the family card. And it's almost just like we can't fix everything for everyone. Sometimes we just have to listen and just be supportive and just have the hug, but we can't fix it all. And we're not supposed to. We're as parents, we're not really supposed to fix it all. They're supposed to go through stuff. It helps them transform. And it goes back to that Pluto thing. So this is the time where you need to start picking yourself. This is a time when you need to get grounded. Maybe you need to get really grounded before you're around your family so that you can just give them a hug and just be a centered energy for them. But here, everything else is just showing that you feel stuck, you feel exhausted, you feel like you want to have fun, but you're just burdened by all these thoughts and lack of sleep. And the good news is that a new start is coming. So this is the time to start writing those wishes of what you want. Get clear, get grounded. Take some time to just sit. Meditation is just doing nothing, sitting, being open, getting grounded, getting calmer in your body. It's pretty easy. We just have to make time for it, right? And so it's very important for you to make time for yourself. The new start, this is the end of the old for you. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So we're going to start into a new, fresh way. So start now building what that fresh way looks like. Okay. I still feel like I got to pull you a couple more. Let's see what we got. All right. We've got a few. We've got the Hanged Man, the 7 of Cups, and the Empress. You got 2 majors here. The Hanged Man doing this beautiful yoga stretch, looking at things from a different viewpoint. This is the Divine Delay card. It's Virgo, wants you to rest. It's wellness. 7 of Cups, where things are going to be foggy. We know that things are foggy. We know that there's a lot of Pisces energy. And you can contemplate. You might not have all the answers yet. Might not be that clear. Here's the Empress. She's giving birth to beautiful things. And So remembering that your family is something beautiful that you've given birth to. This is your life is something beautiful that you've given birth to, in a sense. Your contribution to this world. But almost like this Empress is going to give birth to the world, you need to be nurturing yourself like a baby right now. Just gently, kindly grounding yourself, making sure you're having fun. But number one, making sure you're sleeping and not spending all of your energy worrying. Just seeing it, realizing it is the first step on feeling better. So, sugar, stuff like that is going to keep us like in our head, right? The news is going to do that too. So get grounded, get clear, envision a new start coming. Happy new moon, and I'll talk to you next week.